You are listening to the Children of Film podcast.
We're a 1.5 hour long dick joke.
Welcome to the podcast where we don't know how to begin it well.
Hey everyone, welcome back to the Children of Film podcast. It's been a long time coming. We haven't been here in a while. Jacob, he's moved into his new apartment up in the big city. He's a big city boy now. He's going to university for the first time. I'm going back to university. We've both got busy lives, and it's been a tough run of it the last few weeks, but we're back. We did our award show. Jacob's done some reviews. And we're back with the regular podcast. We're going to start doing this hopefully every couple weeks.
It feels good because it's been the first time in a while that we really get to talk heart to heart, to not only to each other but to you guys, because what's funny is that this has been one of the busiest months of my whole life, but at the same time it's also probably been I've been uploading more consistently than ever to the channel in terms of reviews and shit like that. So it's weird, but no, it's good. So yeah, that's where we're at, and starting now we're going to try and get back to at least semi-regular podcasts.
Oh, yeah.
Like
it's
at
a
least
big commitment for
once
a podcast,
every 2
though.
weeks.
It's about an hour to plan, an hour to film, plenty of hours of editing. I only be there for 2 hours of it, but
Yeah, but
for me,
we're keen for tonight because we've got to discuss the Oscars. We do it every year, and so we'll get more into that later. And we're still going to be doing a best of 2017 best movies of the year podcast, just a chance to go in depth and stuff. And then who knows where we go from there? Maybe we turn into a podcast about stuff that's not movies.
Oh fuck! No, we won't do that. Don't we?
Actually, yeah. Like we barely know what we're talking about here.
Anything.
We don't want to stray from the comfort zone. Let's get on to our diary display, our opening segment.
By the way, if you want to see my top 10 list or Jacob's top 10 list, you can go see them too. We're going to be combining them next time. Our top 10 lists. Yeah.
I actually haven't watched yours yet. I'm going to probably sometime.
Thanks, man.
Hey, it only went up like yesterday. Bear with me.
So.
Yeah, and I will watch all of yours in due time. I'm busy.
You don't have to. I'm not as illiterate as you. I'm just like, for every movie, I'm like,
did you just call me illiterate?
Yeah.
You're not as illiterate as me. That was an insult to me.
Well, yes. See how illiterate I am? I just insulted you and I didn't know it.
All right, Doris.
The school system, I guess.
I guess I'll go first because why not?
Do it.
All right. So throughout February, I actually watched a shitload of movies. Like I was watching 1 to 2 every day. And so there were a lot to talk about there. But I've watched fuck all for March. So I'm going to go through what I've watched in the past week or so. But then I think at the end we could maybe just do what we do after we've had a break and just go back and maybe point out anything that really stood out to us that we want to bring up. But all right, here's what I've watched in March. I went and saw Red Sparrow. I was pretty keen for it. The old Jennifer Lawrence sort of comeback tour, and when I heard it was sort of slow paced, it was pissing people off, it's fucked up, I was like, all right, I'm keen. And I would say it hit my expectations pretty well on the mark, in that I initially thought it was going to be bad, and then I thought it was going to be great, and then it ended up being just good. Like I really actually quite enjoyed it, but it's not a great movie, and I don't think it's a movie that I would ever watch it again. But I like that it's slow paced, sort of old school, sort of political thriller. Joel Edgerton and Jennifer Lawrence were pretty great. And I think it is kind of empowering in certain ways. There's some certain stuff that might bother people, but I thought it mostly worked, and it didn't come off as too much sexualization, whereas it easily could have. But my main problem is just that it was kind of dull, and it just wasn't that interesting throughout the first and second acts. I really loved what happened towards the end, but Red Sparrow, it was not bad. I watched The Big Lebowski because cinema near me did a screening for it for its 20th anniversary, and I watched it a few years ago and was like underwhelmed, so I've been meaning to rewatch it for a while. So I'm like, hell yeah, and I had a really good time with it. Like, I loved this. It shot up my bloody Coen Brothers ranking list. It's just a blast. It's so well written. It's really, really freaking funny. And, you know about The Big Lebowski. I'm not going to sit here and talk about The Big Lebowski because I know some people are bloody experts on it. But I will say I appreciate it so much more.
Maybe it's because you were drinking while you watched it, man.
I drank one White Russian to get in the spirit of things. And for those of you who know me in real life, I don't drink. So,
you enjoyed it?
The drink or the movie?
The drink.
Yeah, it wasn't bad.
Fair enough. It's just, what is it, vodka and vanilla
Kahlua
schnapps or
and
coffee,
milk.
Kahlua. Yeah. Oh, it's cream, but it's supposed to be a real
Yeah,
White Russian is
cream.
cream.
Right on.
But
I don't know if they gave us cream. I wasn't
Whipped
paying
cream.
attention.
yeah,
But drink was alright, movie was great. And yeah, I don't know why I didn't appreciate it the first time. Maybe I was just like, it's too weird. But when I really sat down and paid attention in a theater, and the cinematography is fucking incredible too. Like, Roger Deakins is the man. Okay, what
now.
else did I... Yeah, in true fashion, I'm going way overboard with my diary display, but I didn't have a lot of movies, so I'm just... I have a lot of thoughts to get out because I've been alone and haven't been able to rant to anyone about movies, and I have to, blah, blah, blah. I watched Cassandra's Dream. It's a Woody Allen movie with Colin Farrell and Ewan McGregor, and... Okay, so if you know in real life, you know that I've recently become obsessed with Sally Hawkins, and I've just been watching every movie that she's in, so that's literally why I watched this. Sally Hawkins is in it for a bit, so I watched it, but it was actually pretty fucking good. Colin Farrell and Ewan McGregor were really damn good. It's sort of, and it doesn't feel like a Woody Allen movie. I mean, let's separate Woody Allen as a person from things. He's not the greatest guy, but I enjoyed this movie. It didn't feel like a Woody Allen movie. It was pretty dark. It was a bit of thriller, and it had an actual musical score, which hardly any of his have. And it was just sort of a nice little contained sort of drama / thriller about these two brothers, and it wasn't great, but I had fun. What else did I watch? Chef. I just needed to pick me up that day. I rewatched Chef. It's one of my favorite movies. It's one of my favorite feel-good times. Ultimate food porn. Jon Favreau is the man. Just a great story of a dude going back to his roots and rediscovering what made him love what he does. And my favorite thing about Chef is that it's the ultimate feel-good movie because it doesn't follow your typical structure. It puts all the hardships and the obstacles in like the first half an hour. And then from there, it's just sort of fucking, just doing his thing. And, there's not like some third act conflict that they have to overcome. It's just like, no, he figured it out. And it's just, I love Chef. I watched La La Land for the 11th time because the theater brought it back for a week and I had to go see it. So, La La Land, I've talked enough about La La Land on this fucking podcast. I rewatched The Shape of Water, and that is the 6th time I have watched The Shape of Water now. I took my dad to see it this time. Now I've showed like 4 different people the movie. And if like you haven't seen my list or anything, it's my favorite movie of 2017. So I really, really loved it. It really means a lot to me. I think it's incredibly beautiful, and it's got that great Guillermo del Toro dark, violent touch as well, the fairy tale-ness of it. But it's just a beautiful message about, maybe there's someone for everyone. I hope. You better not be lying to me, Guillermo. I'm sure this is not the last time I'm going to talk about Shape of Water on the podcast, but I adore it. And tonight, I watched The Killing. One I've had on the Blu-ray shelf for a while that I've kind of been putting off, and one of Kubrick's early movies, and I had a great time watching The Killing. It's just sort of, it doesn't go too far outside the box. It's a pretty standard noir story, but it's like these sort of, a bunch of different characters. Sterling Hayden's the main boy, and they're sort of planning this heist. They're planning to knock off a dog track and stuff, and it's just sort of what's great is that all the characters are doing it for money, but they're all coming from different places. They've all sort of got different motivations, so that element was really interesting. The shit he does with the camera was cool. Like, there's a shot where they're walking through a house, and the way he sort of just goes through the wall to transition from one room to another was really freaking cool. And without spoiling it, the end scene I thought was fucking hilarious. Like, you know what I mean?
The last scene is one of my favorite last Kubrick movie. It's no The Shining, but it's fucking awesome.
It was so... I was actually, like, in stitches. It was so, so good. And just, like, the final line of dialogue, it was just... Yeah, it had a sort of ironic sense of humour to it. And, I enjoyed the shit out of The Killing. So, that's my diary display for this week. Jaron, what have you been watching lately?
11 minutes on 7 movies. Not bad. Not your finest effort, but...
Hey, I think I was reasonably eloquent for a guy who hasn't podcasted in a month.
All right, let's see if I can be the same. Watch Red Sparrow was okay. Watch Tappy Go Lucky was okay. Watch Boy was good.
I just want to come back to this after, because I want to talk about Happy Go Lucky for a moment.
All right.
After. I'll let you finish first.
Watch Taika Waititi's Boy was very good. Was very funny, charming. Watch Celeste and Jesse Forever. Really, really liked it. Unconventional rom-com. Andy Samberg and Rashida Jones. Probably their best performances, each of them, that I've seen in a movie. Maybe not Andy Samberg's, but Rashida Jones, who you'd know from Parks and Rec, The Office, a lot of stuff like that. She's in The Social Network as well. She's so fucking good in this. She really gets to stretch her acting a lot. And I really like this
underrated for her acting ability.
Yeah, she is. You should watch Celeste and Jesse Forever then, because it's her best performance. And like Chef, this is a movie where all the hardships and, you know, the big thing that's supposed to happen at the end of the movie, that's the tearjerker, it happens before the movie starts. And the movie,
spoilers.
Yeah. Well, you don't know what it is yet. And it happens, and you find out about it like 5 minutes in, and it's just dealing with it. And it's really unconventional in that what you'd expect to happen in a rom-com doesn't happen at all. That's probably the literal definition of a rom-com, unconventionalism, but whatever. Thor Ragnarok came out on Blu-ray, and I snapped it up and I watched it, and I enjoyed the shit out of it. It is, it's Chris Hemsworth's best performance as Thor. It's Thor's best solo outing, and there's the best. So they finally figured out what to do with Thor. You have to. He's a fucking crazy mythical character. You don't have to be so dramatic with him. He doesn't translate that well when he's being all Shakespearean. You know, I like the first two movies, but they're not the best. The second one's not the best.
They realized that in concept, Thor is a silly idea, and they ran with it.
Exactly, and basically they chucked him around some actual interesting side characters, and it made for a great story. Like Korg, Valkyrie, even Hulk are way better than any side character in any other Thor solo movie. Any of them.
But it's not like one serious and there's comic relief or whatever. They're all the comic relief, and it works.
Yeah, there's I only find a couple things wrong with Thor Ragnarok, and that's, I mean, in some scenes he should have held back a little. He James Gunned it a little bit in some scenes, but
what do you mean?
I think he James Gunned it in some scenes, meaning there was some scenes that could have been left a little bit for dramatic tension, but he cuts it with a joke straight up with everything. Everything's a joke.
Right.
Like the end when his planet explodes and Korg quips about it straight away, or, you know, the Valkyrie backstory. There's a lot of stuff like that. Say
what you will about James Gunning it. He ended Guardians 2 on a pretty somber note, which I quite liked.
Yeah, but, I mean...
Dude, it ends with Rocket looking at the camera and crying.
Yeah, but the thing was about James Gunning is that during that funeral, I was about to cry, and then Gamora looks at Star-Lord and she's like, it's that unspoken thing, and I'm like, oh fuck.
Yeah,
and
see,
really
I don't
took
care.
Me out of it.
I'm not bothered about a movie undercutting tension with jokes, but when you do it with such a shitty joke like that, that's where.
And I just don't get why he didn't. Because the perfect thing to do there, which I would have really liked, is she looks at him and doesn't say anything, because people would be like, oh yeah, it's that unspoken thing. So just don't fucking say anything. If it's unspoken,
also,
stop.
That whole unspoken thing was just cheesy, unnecessary plotline. Either have them do a romance or have them not. You know, I don't give a fuck either way.
They started romancing in the first
not
one,
enough
and then their relationship
went
went back
care.
to step one in the second one. Let's not talk about Guardians 2. I like it.
But also I'll say I still cried.
I wish. But I watched Rosemary's Baby, directed by Roman Polanski. The scariest bit of the whole movie was seeing Roman Polanski's name in the end credits. But I had no idea what this was about, so when the end rolled around, that last scene, I was fucking terrified. I was like, what is going on? And it really, took me by surprise. It whacked me in the face with a bat. I was like, oh shit, they're going here. Wow. The end is so dark. It is undeniably somber and dark and chilling. It is I did not expect that. I was like, oh, it'll be possessed or something. Do
they eat the baby?
Something scary. No, they don't eat the baby. Spoiler alert, they don't eat the baby. They didn't mother it. But
damn.
No, but
I don't even know what it's about.
You should watch it. Don't read up anything, because the funny thing is, after I watched it, I was taking it back because I rented it out from uni. They pick any movie I want out and take it home. I looked at the back of the cover, and it basically says everything that happens in the last act and spoils it for you. So don't read any plot synopsises about it, because you'll get it ruined for yourself. The ending, the twist. And then after that, I watched Euro Trip to combat the somberness, and that was probably there was a
like, more depressing experience than Rosemary's Baby.
It was, because I was like, Euro Trip, it'll be dumb, but Matt Damon's in it. It'll be. Was
it just on Netflix or something?
Yes, and it was on Netflix, and I hated it. It was fucking. There's nothing clever. The most clever thing about this movie is the introduction credits.
Is Matt Damon cameo good?
Yes, yeah, it's great. If your credits are the best video movie,
I think I watched it when I was a kid, but
Matt Damon is a punk rocker with fucking shit in his face, and
isn't he singing about fucking the dude's girlfriend or something?
Yeah, he sings "Scotty Doesn't Know" that rock song.
Yeah, Scotty doesn't know.
He's like, and he's just singing about how he fucked her girlfriend right in front of him. But there's nothing charming, nothing funny, nothing clever about this movie. It's just a bunch of dick jokes, a bunch of boob jokes. Like literally, I don't think the word boobs is spoken any less than 2 times in 10-minute periods. It kind of like I love boobs as much as the next guy. Why do you think I gave Red Sparrow 3 out of 5? But there's a point where it's just not funny anymore. But
Jaren, that's the male gaze. That's why it was a bad movie. You should be ashamed of yourself.
Yeah, that was a really she kind of did the same as Jennifer Lawrence. It was like the most unsexual way of showing on screen. Like you can see why she would have agreed to that, because it's. I just love how like 3 years ago she said, "Yeah, you'll never see me make it in a film."
Did she actually say that?
Yeah. Same with Emma Stone, I think. So there's still hope. But
no, but Lawrence, after the whole nude thing, I think she just kind of doesn't give a fuck anymore, and. I guess I kind of like that she's doing weird shit. I mean, Red Sparrow wasn't the greatest movie, but I fucking love Mother. And it's cool that she's sort of was like this
Mother because her boyfriend is the director. Though.
Yeah. But still, like, Red Sparrow is not, a movie that you're...
No way.
Like, because...
Yeah, I agree.
She was this sort of young adult, Hunger Games, massive passengers, massiff box office star, and now she's just kind of like, nah, fuck it.
All their passengers wasn't long ago, so...
Yeah, but
I agree. Yeah,
you know what I'm saying.
But the thing is, she was fucking great in Red Sparrow. I'm back on the I was kind of back in 2014.
She just needs to stop saying so much dumb shit.
Sick of her. But I'm back on her after Mother and Red Sparrow. I'm back on her team. I want to see her succeed because she was so great in both of them. I think I just got tired of her personality, so I started.
I don't think she's ever given. Aside from maybe X-Men Apocalypse, I don't think she's ever really given a bad performance.
Yeah, the only performance I don't like her in is the third X-Men movie, because I think she kind of slept
Apocalypse.
But even in the first 2 X-Men, she was great. Yeah, First Class and Days of Future Past. Yeah. All right, so that's Diary Display for this week.
Hang on. First, is there anything else you watched over the past month since we did a podcast that you want to bring up?
Oh yeah, good point.
Because I just wanted to mention when you said you watched Happy Go Lucky, that's because I recommended it to you, and Jaren didn't really love it that much, which is totally cool. I just wanted to talk about it because it's probably my favorite discovery of this year so far, as in something that's not a 2017 or 16 release.
Yeah, I just want to say I didn't like it that much, but I completely see why you did. I can see how someone would love it.
I think it's just a movie that I needed when I saw it, and I've watched it twice this year now, and it's just, I think, a movie that really gave me a lot of faith in humanity, and it's one that's kind of having a bit of an impact on me as what I want to be as a person, and I think Sally Hawkins is incredible in it, and I just want to put it out there and recommend it. It got me sort of interested in Michael Lee, and I want to watch some more of his movies, and that. What about 2018 releases? What's your favorite one so far? Because we haven't really talked about too many new releases.
Right. My favorite 2018 release so far is Black Panther. But honestly, And I never thought I'd be saying this. Like, honestly, swear to God, if you told me I'd be saying this, I'd laugh at you. But it is very closely followed behind by the comedy Game Night, which is fucking awesome.
See, we never really got to talk about Black Panther here, did we? I did a review for it, but do you have any sort of thoughts you want to share on it?
We can talk about Black Panther. I forgot we hadn't talked about that. Black Panther, I think I was a little bit underwhelmed.
But it's still your favourite of the year.
Yes, I'm going to go see it again tomorrow night with my little brother. It's his birthday, so I bought him an Avengers shirt and I bought him a movie ticket. Has he seen it yet? And I told him we're seeing it. No. It's Taj.
Jaren's brother's like actually... Oh, it's Taj.
Yeah.
Yeah, Taj. Fuck Taj. He's
he chased Caleb with a knife. So, you know. Yeah. He's not a psychopath anymore, though. No,
yeah, he is a bit of a psychopath.
From ages
I thought you were talking about Zave.
No.
So I was going to say Zave's a lad. Like, he's like 11 or whatever, and he loves horror movies and shit. Like, I love that kid.
Well, Taj, from ages 0 to 7, we didn't know this. Like, when he was a psychopath back when you knew him, it's just a quick tidbit. It's because because as you for everyone else, he's like a little psychopath. He run around. He always had so much energy, and he just loved getting in fights and
stabbed a dude for breaking his swing set or some shit.
Yeah, well, he tried to stab Caleb. Yeah, he threw a knife at him, but it's because ever since he was born, his spine has been out of alignment. 2 of his vertebrae had collapsed on each other. And he was in constant pain, but because he'd been living with it since he was a newborn, he didn't realise, he didn't know he was in pain. He just lived with it, and he just became with it. So it turned out he was actually taking out all of his aggression and all of his anger through his actions. So he went through intense physiological therapy for a couple of years. You can't
fuck with a man's swing set.
And he's a lot calmer now. He still has those tendencies because it's how he's always been, but he is a lot calmer. Yeah. But yeah, it's because of his fucked back. But no, he's a lad now, and I'm going to take him. But yeah, I'm going to say I'm a little bit underwhelmed by Black Panther, but I still really enjoyed it. There's only one thing I really did not like about it, and that was the "what are those" joke. Like, so many things wrong about that. But I also watched Braven, the 2018 film with Jason Momoa and Stephen Lang, and that was really good. I really enjoyed that. And the best movie, one of the best movies I've watched also, I just want to mention, is Rebel Without a Cause. That was sick.
Oh yeah. Nice. Where was I? What was I saying? With 2018. First, I love how we went from Dire Display to Black Panther to fucking stories about Jaren's psychopathic brother with a spine problem. But yeah, Black Panther again. I was a little underwhelmed by it. It's around the middle of my list. You can watch my review if you know what I thought, but I did really quite like it. But I just wanted a little more. Like, I don't know if it ever really gets out of second gear. But like you said, you never expected it to be closely followed by comedy Game Night. Game Night is my favourite 2018 release so far. That, and closely followed by The Death of Stalin, which I saw last year as part of some British film festival thing. And I don't know, it comes out pretty soon, I think, but that was awesome too. 2 hilarious movies. But I just thought Game Night was so much fun. It's very, very cleverly written. The cast are great. It's good to see Rachel McAdams being able to stretch her comedy muscles again. Jason Bateman's great. Jesse Plemons, Jesse Plemons is a scene stealer, but you know who actually might be the MVP in terms of laughs? Billy Magnussen.
Yeah, he was fucking great.
Oh, he's so lovable in his stupidity. He's so great. Just the way he's following what's going on, but he doesn't quite get everything, and it's so great. Like, when something bad happens, the character's like, everybody having fun, and they're like, no, and he's like, yeah, no. But no, if you didn't see Game Night, or if you slept on it because you thought it was going to be bad, or if you just hadn't heard of it, go see it. It's a super, super fun mystery comedy, and
you might know,
it has fantastic cinematography.
Yeah. I was about to say, you might know Billy Magnussen recently from Ingrid Goes West last year. He was the douchebag brother with the epic set of abs, so everyone loved him. He was, Elizabeth Olsen's
Billy Magnussen's character in Game Night is his character in Ingrid Goes West, but he's actually not a cunt.
Yeah, except he's nice. Well, that was the point of him in Ingrid Goes West, I think.
Yeah. Oh no, I didn't say he's a bad character. He's a great character.
Yeah.
But in this movie, he's like a lovable dude. And what about pieces of shit? Because there's one movie I feel like I need to mention. But Jaron, what's your sort of if we're excluding like Netflix shit, what really bothered you in
all right,
2018
if we're
release
excluding
so far?
Netflix shit, the worst 2018 release by far I've seen is 50 Shades Freed.
You watched that, didn't you?
I did. Well,
Have you seen them all?
Yeah, I've seen them all. The first one and second one are real bad, but I found some enjoyment out of the first one and the second one. I think the second one might be the best, but
best in strong quotation marks.
Well, I gave it like a 2 out of 5. I didn't hate it. But 50 Shades Freed is just fucking god awful. There's no redeeming aspect about this. And by the way, this just defending my 2 out of 5 on that. It's more of a lovable 2 out of 5 because some of it is so stupid that I found it really funny. But this one was just kind of infuriating. Although there was something. I watched it with my girlfriend and she was hitting me because there was a car chase where I was counting out loud every time they showed the Audi logo, and I think it happened. It was like a 4-minute car chase, and it happened about 31 times. And while they were saying that, he threw Dakota Johnson the keys, and he was like, and she just like put in her place some fucking sexualized real estate agent who was hitting on her husband, and he's like, if you can handle her, you can handle this baby, and he chucked her the keys, and then it's just like rah, rah, and she's like, wow, this really moves, and then it's like Audi, and she's like, can it go any faster? And he's like, you bet it can. Boom, Audi, boom.
Because Audi is what you think of when you need a fast, heavy sports
There was
car.
one rotating shot of the Audi car where you saw the logo 5 times in one shot. It also, and the car chase, it was just so clunky and so terribly
So I love
done.
that there's a car chase in a series that's about BDSM romance.
Yeah.
It's like they just run out of ideas.
It's not. Well, they didn't run out of ideas because it's in the book. So the writer.
The writer of the book ran out of ideas.
If you don't know, 50 Shades of Grey was originally a Twilight fan fiction, and it got picked up. A lot of people started liking it, so she changed the names of the people. So
good one,
yes,
quality.
Yeah, but, there's also a scene where he just about eats ice cream out of a vagina, and I don't think that's very healthy, to be honest.
But just speaking of running out of ideas, Pitch Perfect 3 fucking sucked.
Will, you like the first ones, eh?
I did. What, you don't like the first one?
Not really.
Oh, fair enough. No, I think it's pretty damn good. Second one's not good, but anyway, I just want to say, this is a Netflix movie, but it's one that has to be mentioned. It's my least favorite of the year so far, and it's Mute. And it breaks my heart a little because this is a movie I've been anticipating for like 5-6 years since like
Yeah.
Sorry?
Keep going. No, we actually did a podcast where you said it was your second most anticipated for the year.
I did. It was probably one of the more recent ones we did, and I think I might have had a little trepidation in it there, but it was still my second most anticipated of the year. And so this is an early L for 2018 for me. It's a bit of a I played myself moment. But Moon's one of the first movies I discovered when we were getting into cinema, like the good old days. Me and Jaron going to Video Easy every day after high school, video rental store for those who haven't heard of it. And we would just go through all the X rentals for like $5 and shit, and just sort of find a movie, and if the cover like interested us, we'd like Google it, and if it had like a good Rotten Tomatoes score, we'd grab it. And that was how we discovered a lot of movies back then. And Moon's one of the first ones I discovered.
With Cash.
Wow, Cash.
Yeah,
that was a movie.
Sean
have
Bean
you watched it
well.
again since?
I have not. I'm a little trepidatious.
I think you lent it to me, and I watched it once.
I've still got it, and I really liked it when I saw it.
You found Defendor and lent it to me, and I liked it, and then I wanted it, but they didn't have any more, so I had to get them to fucking order it in for $20.
You bought the DVD for $20.
Also got them to order in Drive. This is before the days of us buying Blu-rays. Attack the Block, that's another good old X rental.
Oh, Bernie.
I bought School of Rock on X rental and then only watched it for the first time like 2 years ago. I'm not going to lie, that's a bit of a Ned Schneebly move.
Yeah, that was a Ned Schneebly.
But no, Moon's one of those external DVDs I got, and it blew me away. It was one of these movies where like I was just obsessed with it. I researched every single freaking plot detail and every bit of backstory and how the clones worked and the timelines and, you know, what could happen next. You know, what Lunar Industries did, and it was one of these movies I was just obsessed with, and it's one of my favorite movies. Period. Sci-fi movies, and so I was really keen for Mute, and this is all this unnecessary story just to build up to the crushing disappointment that I felt when I saw Mute. Because
you want to know what happens next? What happens next is, in passing, there's a TV screen where there's a bunch of Sam Rockwells yelling at each other, and then the TV screen gets turned off,
and the characters ignore it so as to directly say, "Hey Jacob, fuck you, suck my dick, you're never going to get a meaningful continuation of the Sam Bell story." Yeah, they've been touting it. He'd been touting it as some spiritual sequel to Moon. It's set in the same universe. Sure, I was never expecting a direct sequel, but you could at least not shit on Moon's good name by lumping it in with this piece of fucking garbage. I know Jaron liked it a bit more than I did, and like I totally get it. I'm probably more harsh on it. I'm probably more harsh on it because of how excited I was for it. But this is garbage, and I've always gone to bat for Duncan Jones. I didn't like Warcraft, but I thought, you know, there was a lot I did like about it, and I think he might have just bitten off a bit more than he could chew. And I really like him I really like the guy, and I love Moon and Source Code. But Mute, there's no way I can excuse this one. Like Netflix gave him full control. Really, and it's even if you put aside the absolute disrespect it shows for Moon, it's terrible. It's just a bunch of random sci-fi shit thrown into the movie. Let's put some Blade Runner stuff in there. Let's have a bunch of like weirdly dressed people in nightclubs. Let's have flying cars for a bit, but then for the rest of the movie there are no flying cars. What? Yeah. What guy?
Remember the gay guy who like kind of touched him in a club? How bad was that?
There was a guy who played like a trans woman, and their performance was fucked. Oh, that's who you meant.
And in the club, he like touched his dick and then yelled at him or something. I don't know. I don't remember that. But
you might be thinking of the weird dude earlier in the movie.
Also, I just want to say the thing that hurts the most about this is. Well, two things. One, there was no reason for Moon to be in this. It had no impact on the plot. There was no reason.
And because of how bad Mute was, we probably will never, ever see any sort of meaningful continuation of Moon.
But also, what was happening on the screen was really interesting. That means they got all of the clones down from space, and there would have been some agenda pushed by the public to create or to bring them all to life. And now they're all living. The original ones there, meaning now they can live more than 4 years. It's really interesting what's going on with the court case. I want a court drama about Sam Bell. That sounds amazing.
Just a bunch of Sam Rockwells. You could win another Oscar for that,
right?
I don't know how. I mean, all right. Now, I don't think this was ever intended to be a Moon movie because he wrote this years ago, and so I get. You know, I'm not asking for this to be about Sam Bell. I'm asking, don't fucking put Sam Bell in it, because it's obvious that the only reason they included it was to get people interested in it. That's the only reason. It has no impact on the plot. It's cheap. Paul Rudd was good, though. 1 out of 5.
Paul Rudd was good.
Also, there's a really weird side plot where one of the villains is a pedophile, but there's never really any consequence to it.
I think he was pretty good in it, though.
Oh, no, Justin Theroux was quite good, but it was just so weird the way they handled it. It wasn't like... The movie never treated him as evil for being a pedophile. It was more just like, old Johnny and his fucking touching the kids. That's a character quirk.
Yeah, the thing that rubbed me the wrong way was that Paul Rudd throughout the movie hated that he was like a pedophile. And then when he suspected that he was a pedophile and he put up against him, he's like, I just saw a video of you and a little girl and what you did. Never do that again or I will kill you. I'll skin you alive or something. And Thoreau's like, oh, I'm so sorry. And then they go to a club together
scene,
and Justin Theroux puts his arms around a 15-year-old and he's like, how old are you? And she's like 15. He's like, let's just say you're 21. Haha. And then it goes to Paul Rudd and he's like smiling. He's like, oh, that guy. Ha ha ha. I'm like, what? What? You just threatened to kill him.
Yeah, no,
Jesus.
but Paul Rudd is the only thing I enjoyed about this movie. I didn't, and it split between the main guy and then Paul Rudd's storyline, and they didn't spend enough time on either one for me to be able to care about it fully. But Paul Rudd is the only thing the movie has that even resembles a compelling character, because he's an evil dude, but at the same time, you kind of relate to his plight and what he's trying to do, and yeah, so that's the only positive word I have to say about Mute, and that is mostly more because of Paul Rudd than anything that the director did. And the screenplay is just awful. Some of the lines are absolute doozies. It feels like it was written by someone who, like, English is their second language, because it's so stilted and awkward. And it's just like, oh, look at how weird and quirky we are. Don't think this is my fucking Blade Runner fan fiction.
Oh, God. Yeah.
I spent ages on that. But honestly, I think this is good. I think we're just sort of getting back into it, and we're just fucking chatting just movies. Rambling. Not every show has to be fucking structured, I guess. Fuck Mute, man, honestly. Like, what an early loss for most actors.
So, I was disappointed by Mute, but also, in the same vein, I was pleasantly surprised by Game Night. Like we said, a comedy I'm going to be revisiting. Awesome. I'm going to buy it on Blu-ray. I'm going to watch it a shit ton more.
I saw it 3 fucking times.
Yeah, it looks like one I'll be rewatching quite often, and I really didn't like the trailer. I didn't think it was going to be good.
I never saw it, actually.
I did.
I'm glad I didn't, because I didn't really know anything going in.
Yeah, I'm pleasant. Well, neither did I. I knew that it was kind of... I didn't know what it was going to be. I just knew that it was... all I saw was them playing board games and then someone getting sucked into a jet engine. That's all I saw, really. And
also, it includes one of the better Denzel Washington impressions I've ever seen.
Hey,
that dude nailed it.
Not bad at all, yeah.
You see, hate, put us in here. I lost my shit of that, but yeah. Seriously, watch Game Night if you. It's great. Also, I have 2 early contenders for worst line of dialogue in 2018. Right.
Oh, yes.
So the first one is from Mute, comes from Justin Theroux, and I believe the quote is something along the lines of, "I cut off your girlfriend's tits and used them as fucking earmuffs."
Yeah, towards the end, eh?
And then the other one is one that I just enjoyed because of how bad it was. From the 1517 to Paris, the line is, "My God is bigger than your statistics."
Oh, also, I haven't seen the movie, but also the 15 to 17 Paris. Shut the heck up. That's a line that I love.
I liked it more than The Commuter because it was funny.
Yeah, I'm gonna do an honorable mention for worst line of dialogue. And in 50 Shades Freed, there's a run. It's not a joke, but there's a running theme that I realized where every single person. It's obviously the director just trying to get women to love Christian as much as possible. So they make him out to be that this guy doesn't have a fault. All right. This guy's fault is that he cares about his work too much, or he loves her too much. And every single person who he meets has to point that out. Every single person who meets him is like, "Oh, Christian, you're the best." Oh, Christian,
Jaron, just quick detour. It's kind of like how in The Snowman, everybody's always on about what a great detective Harry Hole is, but he never shows it.
Yeah. But seriously, he and then it all culminated to right to the very end. Christian's old godmother. This is what she said. She was like, and this is like basically everyone saying that Christian's the best. They're just trying to get everyone to subliminally go, yeah, Christian's the best. She says, "Christian, you are the state lottery, the cure for cancer, and the 3 wishes from Aladdin's lamp all rolled in one." That is a line of dialogue.
Wow, what have I been missing out on with this trilogy?
To Christian, yeah, fuck. What else is there to say, man? Fuck, BoJack Horseman.
Thanks.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, and 2 more things. One, Liam Neeson beats up a guy with a guitar in The Commuter. I don't know if that's important, but I just felt like it had to be mentioned, even though I fucking hated the film. And also, The Commuter is a movie I fucking thought was going to be good and hated, and then I saw in the same night a movie I thought was going to be bad and I really liked, Maze Runner: The Death Cure. Do with that information whatever you wish. Should we move on?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right. Shit, that was... we've been talking for 40 minutes. I'm actually having a good time, though.
Yeah, not bad. Let's just rattle off a couple news stuff so we can go into the Oscars.
Yeah.
First of all, Brad Pitt joins Leo DiCaprio and Margot Robbie in Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, the new film by Quentin Tarantino, which is like backdrop to the Manson murders. And that's pretty cool, you know? I'm glad to see him back with Tarantino. He's great in Inglourious Bastards. I love this cast so far.
So yeah, Pitt, DiCaprio. Is anyone else in it? Margot Robbie's in it?
Probably. Yeah, I said Robbie.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah, so I'm just feeling a little weird in that, one, I'm wickedly excited for this movie, but at the same time, I'm just a little upset with Tarantino at the moment, you know? Like, just, you know, obviously some of the shit that's come to light and stuff. I just feel like I'm not going to sit there and go and condemn him, but I'm just going to sit there and say, look, I just feel like it has to be mentioned. He didn't do anything that bad, but just his comments on Roman Polanski really fucking bothered me.
Yeah, I listened to the clip where he
if you hadn't heard about it, the basic gist of it is that him saying like wasn't he saying like the girl was wanted it or was begging for it?
He was like yeah, she was into it, she was begging for it. He's like they're like, oh, it's statutory rape, and he's like, yeah, but it's not rape, she wanted it. And they're like, well, legally it's statutory rape because she's underage. And he's like, yeah, well, we can throw these words around, statutory rape, what does it mean? Like,
yeah, but it has an actual definition.
Yeah.
But like, I mean, yeah, it's an old interview and stuff. And then the whole thing with Uma Thurman where he made her do a stunt she wasn't comfortable with and stuff.
Yeah, she almost died. He almost rolled her with a car.
Yeah, I'm still excited for this movie. Tarantino's films are among some of my favorites of all time, and I'm not going to go ahead and change that. And I'm really excited for this, but at the same time, I'm a little disappointed by some of this shit because it puts a little bit of a dampener on it, and I don't know if I can call him my favorite director anymore. So you hear that, filmmakers? The spot's open, so start making some fucking good films.
Maybe you'll go full Jaron after changing Jake to your favourite actor. You'll change Fincher to your favourite director. Who's to say?
Jake's a no-brainer. If anyone had a brain, Jake Gyllenhaal would be.
Oh yeah, easily.
He's the man. He is the man.
He is the man. Speaking of the man, Jake is also the 2-time Man for Children of Film award winning.
Congratulations to Jake for that one.
Go check out our video.
Yeah. Friggin' another detour on the Children of Film Awards. I reckon Best Actor was really interesting because, again, our lists were almost completely different aside from Jake Gyllenhaal.
Yeah.
And, so yeah, he won again. And, like, that's awesome. Like, glad he won again. But I think he was both of our number 3.
The only person we had in common was Daniel Day-Lewis. He was my 5th and your 2nd, I think.
Nah, he wasn't on your list, was he?
Yeah, it was my 5th.
Really?
Yeah.
No, that doesn't seem right. I thought your 5th was like Jeremy Renner.
I don't know. Maybe it was. I thought.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure Jeremy Renner was your 5th.
Even so,
I have good memory for this kind of thing. But what? Yeah. So, if you want to know with our nominations, the two from my top 2 were Timothée Chalamet and Daniel Day-Lewis, and who I just want to say, by the way, why wasn't he being talked about over Oldman?
Yeah. Right.
Fucking, I mean, you have to agree with me on that. In that, like, he's a fucking Oscar darling, arguably the greatest actor of all time.
His last performance,
and he absolutely kicks the shit out of what Goldman does. Not to take anything away from Oldman, he's incredible and has deserved an Oscar for a long time. But I would not have given it to him for this one.
No, I wish he won for something else, but I'm glad he won.
And what was your top 2? Circus and Jackman.
Yeah.
Circus
and then Jackman
our other ones who were in the mix, some of my favourites. I just wanted to shout out Robert Pattinson in Good Time, and who else did I have in there? Tell me yours, and I'll remember it.
Shit, I don't know. Mine were Jeremy Renner for.
This is an important list to me.
Yeah, same. Shit. Jeremy Renner for Wind River, Jake Gyllenhaal.
James McAvoy for Split was my 5th one.
Right. No, I don't recall.
No one cares anyway. We're just fucking rambling here.
Yeah.
Where were we?
Anyway.
Okay, Tarantino, but... Alright, so yeah, start making good films, directors. You know, if you're in the mix, you know who you are.
Do that? Yeah, all of you directors listening. You've got a spot on some random kid's favourite director list.
Fucking, like, David Fincher needs a callback to the fucking major leagues. He's been sitting in the reserves for a while.
Oh, yeah.
And if he just came back up to the A graders, he might actually fucking win some MVP awards.
But there's still some of his movies you haven't seen yet, so...
Yeah, I still got to watch The Game and the Benjamin Button.
Curious Case of Benjamin Button, both good movies. God, what was I saying? All right. Anyway, so that was the Tarantino news. Now, this is for Bond 25, which I'm kind of excited about. Trainspotting writer has now been asked to pen the Bond 25 script. Now, he's just done kind of average movies outside of Trainspotting 1 and 2, but those scripts are so incredible that I'm really excited for this. And also, I think they might be using him to court Danny Boyle because he's like their number one on their wish list at the moment.
See, Jaron sending me the news before the show is the first I've heard of this, and I am down as fuck for that.
Oh, yeah. Yeah,
like
awesome.
I love Danny Boyle. He's one of my favorite filmmakers, and he's just very versatile. So I could definitely see him slotting in and doing a James Bond movie. And Trainspotting writer, that's cool. I don't know who it is, but
1 and 2.
Who did? Oh, was it John Hodges?
Yeah.
I think I only remember that from when I was editing the awards, and it was nominated for Best Adapted Screenplay. Shout out to Trainspotting 2, the most underrated film of last year.
Shout out to the Film Awards, nominated Trainspotting 2 for an award. As we both said, that's fucking cool. We've got some quick superhero news. Kristen Wiig is in talks to be Wonder Woman 2's villain Cheetah after Emma Stone declined. And that is cool. They're going for some out there actresses. They're not going for your typical action
Emma Stone
star.
is above this. That's all I'll say.
Well, she said no to it, so...
That's why she said no, because she's above it.
I think that's real close-minded, but, you can
Come
take that.
on, Jared. Nah, Wonder Woman's good. She's, I would have been keen for that. But Kristen Wiig is a good pick.
Yeah, good pick. She's mainly comedic.
Although, the last time she played the villain in a sequel was one of the worst performances I've ever seen.
Let's not talk about Zoolander.
I hated her in that. And I love Kristen Wiig and everything else.
Yeah, me too.
I thought she was dreadful.
She's fucking amazing in Bridesmaids, and she sucks so much in Zoolander. Anyway, Zoolander.
But though, it's I'm held really down with this. Kristen Wiig's the man. I always think it's a good idea getting comedians to play villains because you need they bring something to it, I reckon.
Yeah, I agree. And lastly, Entertainment Weekly has released a bunch of... they've got a bunch of covers, first of all, with all the Marvel heroes on them. It's really cool because there's a lot of different people standing near each other, that you wouldn't usually see, like a Black Panther and a Guardian and an Avenger, and people who hadn't met. It was pretty cool. And then they also released a bunch of still images from the film. Spider-Man on a Bus was one. Doctor Strange with Benedict Wong.
I've literally only looked at one of these.
But the coolest one that I want to talk about that is just the best, briefly mention, is there's a high-definition image released of Thanos wearing the gauntlet. It seems
is it pronounced Thanos or Thanos?
Fuck, I don't know. Doesn't matter.
I mean, it's probably Thanos, but it feels... With the Australian accent, it's way more satisfying saying Thanos.
I think they say Thanos in Guardians, don't they? Or do they say Thanos?
Thanos? I don't know.
Yeah, probably something like Thanos.
I just enjoy saying, old mate Thanos.
Thanos, the big fan horse.
Thanos.
Yeah, he's a big lad. But just look how much of a big rig he is, or in his gold armor, wearing the gauntlet. It looks like he's got the Tesseract on the gauntlet, and he's just pulling down a fucking moon. He's on some Earth. I'm assuming maybe it's Titan, his home planet, or maybe he's just fucked up a bit of Earth. But I mean, it would be kind of devastating if Earth had its moon pulled down on it. I don't think we'd survive after that. But
that'd be kind of brutal.
Yeah, I don't think that's what's happening at all. I think he goes off world. But
is there any other news we needed?
No, that's about
news. Yeah.
No.
Yeah, hasn't been anything too interesting. But there is a piece of news that's called the Oscars. So
it is.
Oscars is a big day for us. We do all our predictions and stuff, and And, you know, we get all our mates together and do predictions and talk about what's going to win and, you know, set aside a day to watch it. And it was a sad day for me, the Oscars, because I didn't get to watch the whole fucking thing. Because, you know, our friend Blake, the fucking dickhead.
Blake, the local dickhead. I even
seems to be the only
yeah.
shout out he gets on this podcast.
He's your local dickhead. I even shouted out the local dickhead on at the award video too. He's our local dickhead. But go and tell him
if you saw him in the awards, he's the guy who had to present an award to a movie he doesn't really like. Logan, Daphne Keane, congratulations, best supporting actress. Where was I? But yeah, I was gonna. We're at uni, so I didn't get to watch them live, and we fucking skipped a lecture to go and watch them, and then the recording failed halfway through, and I only got to watch half. So before they got to any good awards, and that was fucking depressing. So I just had Jaren read me the results on the phone. It's not Blake's fault, but it kind of is. You know, it just teaches me if you want something done right, you got to do it yourself. No, legit. Next year, I'm gonna do everything in my power to not schedule classes on Monday, so I can just watch it live. Yeah, because I couldn't record them because fuck paying for premium television. Where was I? Yeah, Oscars. I watched half of them, but I'm overly happy with the results that I didn't get to watch.
Yeah, I'm really happy with the results this year.
How was the ceremony? Was it entertaining? Was it a good one? I was enjoying it from what I saw.
So yeah, we'll talk about some minor awards and how the ceremony was. Then we'll go into the big ones. I just have to say, Jimmy Kimmel is the man. He's basically a modern like Billy Crystal, who hosted the Oscars in the 90s like 6 times. He also did like 2000.
He's hosted them a lot more than that, I reckon. Yeah.
Yeah. No, that was just in the 90s. He's a beast, and he's always so funny. And Jimmy Kimmel, he had a big task this year. You know, obviously the Globes had the first major award ceremony without Weinstein, but he also had a big task at doing that. But and keeping it all like not making it wrap up too much in politics. But
they handled that side of it really well. From what I saw, like the political side, like they didn't pussyfoot around it, but at the same time, they didn't go overboard with it. Like last year, it was good, but it was like a little over the Trump jokes. Like I hate Trump as much as the next guy, but like there's other stuff you can talk about.
But that 12-minute speech from fucking Meryl Streep, come on, chill out. It's so
Vince get the cross.
Anyway, but I just want to say Jimmy Kimmel is so consistently funny, man. He's such a charming dude. He's so likable. I really want... It's weird how in this time of like change and women empowerment, they still got another white man to host the Oscars. But besides Kumail Nanjiani,
let's get Kumail Nanjiani. I'm down with that as fuck.
I think Jimmy Kimmel is my choice for host the Oscars. Obviously, I would also love someone like Seth MacFarlane to host him because I love him. I think he's hilarious.
A lot of people hated him, but
I love him. We saw your boobs.
If they did that now, that would not fucking fly.
I'd love it. He can finally say Jennifer Lawrence because he didn't get to last time.
No, I really fucking enjoyed his Oscars, to be honest. It's a big thing about whether you love or hate MacFarlane. I know a lot of people hate Family Guy and stuff, but I'm a big fan of his brand of humor.
Also, Ricky Gervais,
and he's a great singer.
A lot of people don't like, but I love him. Oh,
I loved his Globes.
Amazing. And I love them.
Tina Fey and Amy Poehler are great as well.
They were
hosting.
The thing I love about the first two guys, though, is that they don't hold back. Like, they don't care about controversy. Like, Ricky Gervais and Seth MacFarlane have had the world's fair share of controversy, so they just fucking say anything they want, which is why I think they're hilarious. But I don't think neither of them would fly.
Yeah, they wouldn't fly now. And but no, it seems everybody wants... I've seen people crying out for Kumail Nanjiani, which is awesome. I've seen some people cry out for Tiffany Haddish, which I'm like... All right, now... All I'm going to say is I've not seen Girls Trip, but why is everyone so obsessed with her? Because everything I've seen from her on the Oscars and stuff, she's not that funny.
See, the thing was when she gave out her award and did the Oscar nominees, everyone was saying how good she was. Like, after the award, her and Maya Rudolph introduced a couple of awards, and Maya Rudolph was pretty funny.
Let's get Maya Rudolph to host the Oscars.
She annoyed the shit out of me, and I was like, fuck. I was like, finally people will stop like fucking campaigning for her because I realised how fucking annoying she is. I went online, everyone's like, oh my god, Haddish for the Oscars, that was the best announcement I've ever seen in my life, oh my god, that was the best Oscar and I'm like, what? Are people watching something else? All she does is squeal about shit and talk about vaginas.
But I feel like funny. But I feel like she hasn't really seen the movies or whatever. Like when she was reading the Oscar nominations, she couldn't pronounce them properly.
No way.
Like she I don't know. I mean, I'm not sitting here and trying to tear someone down, but I'm like, I don't know why everyone wants her to host because she could barely read off a teleprompter for the nominations.
Yeah.
But anyway, also
please.
Her presenting with Maya Rudolph is just one step closer to her working with Paul Thomas Anderson.
Yeah. Jesus, please God, no.
Paul Thomas Anderson's a lad.
Oh,
I love him.
A lad.
Yeah.
Did you hear that? Just a quick tidbit. He got the idea for Phantom Thread because he said in an interview that his wife Maya always loves him a little bit more when he's sick. He's like, oh yeah, Maya loves me, loves me a lot more when I'm sick because she means she gets to. Maya Rudolph's favorite time in the year is when I'm sick because it means she gets to baby me, and that's how he got the idea. And
I love that he takes that and, without spoiling it, the direction he takes that idea.
Yeah,
it's awesome. I'd like to watch Phantom Thread again. Like it's not typically my kind of movie, but the way it sneaks up on you, and I just loved how fucking just sort of mean it was. It was kind of mean spirited in the best way. It was really cool in the end, but so cool to see that win costume design. I was super glad Shape of Water won production design. Like the sets on that thing are insane. Pretty much the whole movie is sets.
That and Paddington 2 are my favourite design films.
Yes. It won production design at our awards, didn't it? I believe it did. Yeah.
I do have to say though, I paused the Oscar ceremony and turned off my TV, and this is not a joke. This is not a joke or a hyperbole. And I went out and walked around the street for 45 minutes and contemplated my life and my life choices when I saw War for the Planet of the Apes lose visual effects.
That was an egregious wrong by the Academy.
Blade Runner 2049 was given cinematography. Fucking give visual effects and honor the Apes trilogy.
Seriously, War for the Planet of the Apes might have the best visual effects I've ever seen in a movie.
Yeah, ever.
In terms of, and I'm not talking, let's equate it to the time period the movie was released. I'm talking flat out, in terms of CGI, I don't think there's ever been better.
No, I agree. I don't think there's ever been better special effects.
That to CGI is like 2001: A Space Odyssey to practical effects.
Yeah, seriously. You can't tell the difference. You can't tell the difference between a real ape and Caesar. You don't. And the way, fuck. Like people are like, oh yeah, you know how they blended those two girls together and had that sex scene in Blade Runner 2049. What do you think every ape is in War for the Planet of the Apes? It's a man blended with a monkey.
Fucking, don't get me wrong, Blade Runner has incredible visual effects.
So good.
But come on, man. You got to recognize the trilogy because it's gone up against... I mean, to be fair, it has gone up against some pretty tough competition, but I still think Dawn should have won, even though I was pretty happy with Interstellar winning. I love Interstellar.
Yeah, but see, I think Interstellar and 2049 had great visual effects, but neither of them should have won to the Apes movie that came out. What won in 2012 against Rise of the Planet of the Apes? Because that didn't win either.
No idea.
Yeah, right.
But no, that was disappointing, and that's really the only award of the night that really bothered me. The rest of it, I actually thought they did a pretty fucking good job.
Yeah, same.
There were no big surprises.
2012 was Hugo. Hugo over Rise for the Planet of the Apes.
I fucking love Hugo, but I haven't seen it in a while, so I can't really speak to the.
I watched it for school a few months ago, and it's amazing. Like the train sequence, especially, is fantastic.
I think it's a better movie than Rise of the Planet of the Apes, but
yeah,
I don't know about the effects.
It's close.
Couldn't comment.
Yeah, I don't know about the effect. Either way, it doesn't matter. War for the Planet of the Apes should have won. And the thing that hurts me is that it was the front runner. It won the Visual Effects Society Award. That's basically the lock for the Oscar. And
I had a feeling they were going to go for 2049, but I still said, look,
Same.
the Academy know what they're doing. I'm going to predict apes, and they let me down.
Yeah, fucking hell. But everything else I'm happy with.
I knew that sex scene was going to get Blade Runner the win.
One of the next surprises of the night was that there was no surprise in the 4 acting awards. Usually there's a curveball thrown in there, but every single person who had won every single award won. There was no surprises. It was Sam Rockwell, Alison Janney, Gary Oldman, and Frances McDormand.
But it was cool that the only award of the night that wasn't a lock was Best Picture, because it was cool to sort of, even throughout the Oscars, you're still sort of guessing what's going to win. I think
you come into it, Billboards is going to take the win, and then Get Out wins screenplay, which was great. I think Three Billboards is better, but
Three Billboards
is awesome.
Three Billboards is probably my favourite of the original screenplay
when
category.
Get Out won screenplay and Shape of Water won like 10 other things, I'm like, Shape of Water's the chance now with Get Out close second. Three Billboards has been knocked back, and it just kept changing throughout the awards, which is cool.
But I just want to say, the fact that Jordan Peele won Best Screenplay makes me really fucking happy. Even though I thought Thriller was my favorite of the nominees, get it, dude.
Yeah, I agree.
I just keep thinking back in my head to the first time I saw it, an early screening, and the crowd was going wild, and I had a blast, and I was like, "Fuck, man, that was awesome." It did not enter my head that it would even ever come close to contending for awards, and now it nearly fucking won Best Picture. A fucking crazy February horror movie where a dude monologues about Jeffrey Dahmer eating the shit out of people's heads and then fucking the heads. That's just, that line won Best Screenplay. Fuck yeah. And I love Jordan Peele. I've loved him for years, too. And I'm so proud of him.
Yeah. You saw the reaction. Did you see the reaction images of Keegan Key?
Yes,
celebrating as well. That was so cute.
I really hope they do something. I really hope they do something together again. Yeah, I hope Peele doesn't go, "No, I'm a serious filmmaker now." I hope he does something with Keegan.
It didn't seem like it in his speech, because in his speech he was like, "No, thanks, and then guys." He didn't. Yeah,
and then at the backstage press conference, he's like, "Am I being auctioned off right now?"
Yeah,
Keegan Key is a really fucking talented dude.
He is.
Even in the dude can act, I reckon, and I reckon, even though if they do something together, it'll be like, Key and Peele. But Key and Peele has always been a politically charged sketch show, and it's fucking fantastic. And two, Keegan Key is a really fucking talented comedic actor, and I'm sure he could pull off drama as well. And so I hope they do something together.
Keegan Key in the opening scene of Horrible Bosses 2 is amazing. We're calling our website Niggerdale. Wait, say that again? Niggerdale. It's Nick Kurt Dale. Our name's on the line.
Jaron,
y'all gotta change that name.
Jaron, I set him up, you knock him down. Why would your buddy be in the shower with you?
Why would your dad? I call it the shower buddy, because that's way better than the shower daddy. It's not better than the shower daddy. Why would your buddy be in the shower with you? Why would your dad?
That's a big deal to him.
Yeah, they're so angry.
All right, Jaron,
underrated
poll.
comedy. Anyway.
Right, poll to the Children of Film viewers. If you're watching up to this point, comment. What's worse to be in the shower with, your buddy or your dad?
Yeah. I mean, for me, it's an easy choice, because me and Jacob have been in the shower together many times.
So yeah, give us your results. Maybe we'll create a poll on Twitter, and we'll come back, and it'll be a part of the things we learned section of next week's podcast.
Absolutely.
Thanks for the few people who got the reference, who've seen to this random line that's one of the fucking funniest things we've ever seen.
Yeah, it is. So I'm really happy with Best Picture. First, Best Director going to... I'd want to talk about something that you missed before this. I didn't get to watch the whole... Emma Stone was... announcing director, and when she did it, she came out and everyone loves her, and I love Emma Stone more than the next guy.
She's our sister, who we would also
have relations with, yes. But
I was just gonna leave it at that, but
she really pissed me off, to be honest. I get that it's charged. Greta Gerwig, fifth woman ever nominated. I'll tell you. So Greta Gerwig, everyone's making a big deal. 5th woman ever nominated for director. That's amazing. First of all, Jordan Peele
the best female directed film of the year.
Also, Jordan Peele was the 5th black man ever nominated, so it should have been celebrated more. But Detroit was a better. Also, anyway, Emma Stone gets up there. She opens the envelope. So she's talking before she opens the envelope. She's talking, oh yeah. So she's like, oh, Greta Gerwig and these 5 men have all made great movies this year, and here are the nominees. And when she was like Greta Gerwig and these 4 men, everyone it was like kind of silent for a second, then everyone was like, oh, and then all you hear is all the ladies go, yeah, and then it just started erupting into applause, and she like kind of looked at the camera and smiled a little bit.
Greta Gerwig,
but I just thought,
4 men. Okay,
I just thought it was really unnecessary slam. Like, Guillermo already felt kind of embarrassed when he got slammed for being a male director at the Globes, you know, when she's like, oh, she's like, and the 5 men directed are, the 5 men director nominees are, but
and
also
the all male nominees or something.
Emma Stone had no problem accepting Best Actress for a movie directed by a man last year. Also, she played a native Hawaiian once. So what is she talking about? She's the last person to be given these kind of speeches.
Was NG.
Oh, God.
Or however that's pronounced.
And it just,
she was meant to be like
really,
Chinese or something.
It just felt really disrespectful to the men nominees, in my opinion, when she was like,
see, I didn't see it, so I can't comment.
Nominated. Oh, yeah, it kind of rubbed me the wrong way, but it didn't stop me from being so happy and ecstatic for Guillermo winning Best Director.
It's Guillermo.
Well, I don't give a fuck. Anyway,
Guillermo.
Guillermo. That's my white person pronouncing of Guillermo. In the award show, I pronounce it right, but I'm just calling it Guillermo. Anyway,
but like it's not like there's no. But like fucking have a go at why have a go at the 4 men? It's actually a very diverse group of nominees. You've got a fucking Latino. Latinos always win Best Director, by the way, because they're fucking geniuses.
Man, a woman. There's only 2 white men in the whole thing.
Seriously, Jordan Peele, not only a black man nominated for his directorial debut as a guy known for sketch comedy, but for a fucking horror movie.
And the thing
that's insane.
The thing that numbs my mind is he's the 5th black man ever nominated for director, the same as Greta Gerwig's the 5th woman ever nominated. Like, why aren't people making a big deal about that?
And wasn't he the first black man to win original screenplay? I don't know, maybe.
Yeah.
I'm not 100% on that fact. Don't quote me on it, but like
maybe
he broke a lot of barriers for that, and not take anything away from Greta Gerwig. She did a freaking amazing job of Lady Bird, but I feel like the way to prop up your cause isn't by shitting on others, you know? Freaking you don't have to shit on the other nominees to say how great it is that there's a female nominee, because it is great that there's a female nominee, but you know, let's give equal congrats to everyone else who was nominated, because it's not Guillermo del Toro's fault that female directors don't get a lot of opportunities. It's not
his fault. He was born a man.
I mean, we're not sitting here going, fuck feminism and stuff. Like, I totally support the freaking Me Too movement. Yeah. It's just, you know, don't...
You wore a Me Too badge in your monologue.
There's no... What?
You wore a Me Too badge in your...
Time's Up, actually.
Movie. Oh, yeah, Time's Up. Good point.
Yeah. Well, Kevin Spacey attended the ceremony. That wasn't fucking meant to happen. I kicked him out.
Yeah, he was gone straight away. Don't worry, guys.
But no, yeah. Point is, you know... The way forward is not through, you know, attacking people who haven't really done anything wrong. The way forward is just to, you know, treat everyone as equals. I don't even know what I'm saying anymore. I didn't even watch it, but it sounds like you're angry, so I'm just like, Jaren's angry. Well, I'm angry too.
Yeah, well, it was just kind of rude for her to take down the other 4 directors just because they were men. But,
and we love Emma Stone.
Yeah, we do.
She's the man.
I think the Natalie Portman jab was actually pretty funny. I think that was not warranted, but I think that was more I guess
it was subtle,
better take. Well, it was also subtle because there wasn't a woman nominated at all. It was also funny and ironic that the whole night everyone's like, "Time's up, I'm with you, women," and then Best Director, 5 men. Like, it was kind of
you had to sort of comment on it,
but
they had it coming.
Yeah, they didn't have as much diversity as this crowd, but anyway.
Yeah. Anyway, I think that's enough of us 2 straight white males talking about diversity with any sort of authority, but that's just sort of our 2 cents on that. But Best Picture, I'm cheering because Jaren, it's the first time since 1993 that my favorite movie of the year won Best Picture. All right, Birdman was my favorite movie of the year for a few months, but now it's not, so it doesn't count. Shape of Water! Woo!
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, when Jaron told me on the phone that it won, I was just sort of walking around the room like with my arms in the air, like, yes, the curse is broken. Not just my curse, but the SAG curse, because that was the one thing that was me thinking, oh, it might not win, because the movie hasn't won Best Picture in 24 years without being also nominated for the SAG Ensemble Cast Award. And also, I don't know how it wasn't nominated. It has a fucking incredible ensemble cast.
Yeah, right.
But yeah, broke the curse. So this year made history in a lot of ways in terms of Oscar statistics and stuff. Had 3 billboards won, it would have gone against, the fact that movies need to be nominated for director to win picture and stuff like that. But hey, he broke the curse of the Children Film Awards at one picture, but not being nominated for director. Yeah.
Well, Shape of Water didn't get nominated for ensemble, like you said, but I don't.
But nah, I was really happy with the crop of nominees this year because 5 of them are like 5-star movies for me, and even then you get to like Phantom Thread, which I also really freaking love. And so really, if any of those had won, dude, even if fucking Lady Bird had won, I'd be like, alright, I disagree, but, alright, I get why people love it.
The only thing I would have been upset with winning is Darkest Hour. I'm fine with Lady Bird winning, but if Darkest Hour won, I'd kind of be...
Yeah. So yeah, I wasn't too happy with Oldman winning, but again, I get it. I totally get it, and is really impressive. I just his performance didn't move me in any way. Like, it was just sort of, I didn't learn anything about Churchill. It was just, hey, look, he's yelling and smoking cigars.
Don't interrupt me while I'm busy interrupting you.
Like, he was great, but
I've seen that clip once in
Churchill.
The movie and 7 times in Best Acting nomination clips.
Oh, yeah. What Oscar clips did they use? Because I didn't get to watch that part. What did they
No,
use
you
for...
Which...
All right. What did they use for Sally Hawkins' The Shape of Water? I really would have loved her to win. She's probably my favourite performance of the year. But again, Frances McDormand is a fucking force of nature.
They used her.
No complaints there.
They used the one we use with the
good
one. Where
that scene is one of the most powerful fucking pieces of acting I've seen in a while. Like, I love it. What did they use for Frances? The deer scene?
For Frances, they used the deer scene, but they used it. They used a clip slightly. It was like 10 seconds after yours, but it finished around the same time.
Yeah. I'll go longer.
The best bit in that scene is one that neither show had cut in. The one where the deer leaves and she like breaks down and she's like, "Oh God!" Like she's so good, but it wasn't.
Yeah, I love the line, "You're pretty, but you ain't her."
Yeah.
So I ended
what
on
I
that.
think is one of the most powerful bits of acting, to be honest, is the speech she gives about the Bloods and the Crips to the priest. I think that's fucking awesome. But also Sam Rockwell cleaning
that
himself
speech
up
is
after
very
he was crying.
McDonough.
Oh, yeah.
Sorry?
That speech where Sam Rockwell cleans himself after he's been crying and he starts kind of slapping himself.
Oh yeah, they used that one.
Good. No, they didn't use that one. I like that one.
No, they used the one where he's talking with the bandages on his face and shit. Yeah. With the scars or whatever, and he's like, "Oh, it's not, man. There's a guy and stuff." And I saw the supporting categories because they do them early in the night. And my man, I just got to comment on Sam Rockwell winning because he was my favorite actor for a time. He's still one of my favorite actors, and the reason he kind of wasn't my favorite actor anymore is because fucking he got put in so many shitty movies, and hopefully that stops now because he just won an Oscar. He's hopefully going to be in demand. And also in his speech he said when he thanked Martin McDonough, he's like, "I hope we make 10 more movies together." And I did come a little when he said that. Just a little. I'm just like, I mean, I was expecting you guys to work together again, but that's just really fucking reassuring.
Oh, God, and also, and
I really enjoyed his speech. Like, it was, it was sort of meaningful in that, like, it meant a lot to him, and I think he's had it coming for a long time. But at the same time, he was humble. He didn't take it too seriously or anything. And I like how he's like, "This goes out to anyone who's ever looked at a billboard."
Yeah.
He's the man. What was your favorite speech of the night?
Probably Guillermo's or Francis's.
Guillermo. Yeah, Francis's was killer. Like, that shit energized the room.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
So I went back and watched all the speeches after the awards because I didn't get to watch the actual show. So I've seen all the speeches. Hers was killer. And the inclusion writer thing, that was genius of her to say.
Inclusion writer is something I'd get behind too.
No one has heard of it, and it makes sense. I mean, I was talking to a friend who was like, "Oh, I don't know about that because in a movie like Dunkirk, you can't have diversity in the cast." And I'm thinking, yeah, sure, but there's nothing stopping us from having diversity in fucking crew members and shit.
Exactly.
So I hate when people act like that, like, don't force diversity. But I'm like, fucking, get the fucking lighting guy to be a fucking, what does it matter what race the lighting guy is? That's not going to affect the movie. It can't hurt. I think it's really, and that's genius because now people are going to use that because no one's probably heard of it. She said she'd only heard of it a week ago.
Yeah, exactly.
It's been around forever. So for those of you who don't know what the inclusion rider is, it's a clause in a contract that says something like 50% of the cast and crew have to be like ethnically or racially or gender wise diverse or something. It's fun. So her speech got the room on their feet. But I think my favourites were probably Guillermo's, both of his director and picture, just because of the way he talked. He just talked about how, like, the standard follow your dream stuff, but it was great. It was just like, how he sort of never thought he would be here, and how he was just sort of kid in Mexico who loved movies and loved monsters, and he managed to turn both of those passions into something really incredible and important to him. And he said, like, I never thought I'd be here, and I am here. And you can tell how much it fucking means to him because, in spite that he hasn't been the most consistent filmmaker, he really is a master. And when he is able to fucking do what he wants, he's a master.
And they didn't play him off.
Yeah. They played off the other guy who tried to talk after him when it won Best Picture.
Yeah, and it was kind of sad because what he had to say was real nice. He was like, "This." It
was just about Guillermo, wasn't it?
Guillermo's passion. Yeah.
Yeah, like it's all him, and it all comes from his fucking brain.
Also there was one fuck up that I have to mention. It would have been fucking production design or something, but a guy's speech seemed like it was wrapping up, so they turned the lights off on him and started playing the music really loud, and all you hear is "after my mum died." And then, as soon as that happened, they switched the lights on and turned the music off, and the camera went straight back on him, and everyone's like, "Ugh," and he's like,
"Who was that?"
I don't remember, but I got to find it. Shit. But he was like, he talked, and then he came to the end of a sentence, and they were like, "Dan," and they turned the lights off, and he's like, "After my mum died," and he was like, after he said, "After my mum died," they turned the lights off, and then it was like, boom, back on, boom, camera, boom, music off.
God.
Like, it was so embarrassing. I felt bad for him.
Yeah, it's pretty shit. Like, dude, because it's like the show is so overlong in everything except the speeches, and that's what it's all about, man. It's about honoring these. It's about honoring these fucking artists, and they obviously. I mean, some of them are just rattling off thank yous, but most of them have something important that they want to say, be it personal or a message to people who might want to follow in their footsteps, and they pad the show with so much other bullshit that you could cut. Like, it's 4 hours long. The speeches don't really take up a ton of that, so there's so much other stuff you could cut other than the speeches, which I think are a really important part of the show. So I don't know why they're so hell-bent on that. I mean, they even did a whole bit where they're like, "Oh, shortest speech wins a jet ski." And I like that no one conformed to that, really. No one purposefully shortened their speech for the jet ski because they're like, no.
It's probably the only time this it was just a gag. Moment. They weren't actually. You can't actually get angry at them to try to.
It was a gag, but you could tell they were trying to shorten people's speeches.
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah, but yeah, I'm glad no one really. Although it would have been kind of funny if someone just came out and did a thank you and left. Yeah. Like, who did that? Someone did that back in the day. Someone just won an Oscar, and they just went up and went like, "Thank you very much," and then they left or something. I can't remember who it was.
I don't know.
I'm looking it up real quick. You say something to fill the dead air.
All right. Sounds like a Brando kind of thing to do, except instead of just running up and say thank you, he sent an Indian woman to go up.
Was it
and
Joe
give
Pesci?
A big speech. Sounds like a Joe Pesci thing to do, actually.
I'm looking.
Did Joe Pesci win for Casino or Goodfellas?
Goodfellas? I reckon
feel
Goodfellas.
Like he won for Goodfellas.
Oscar speeches that were 10 words or fewer. Alfred Hitchcock. Well, he never won an actual Oscar. What's it? Some memorial award. Total speech, dead. 5 words. He said, "Thank you very much indeed." Yeah, Joe Pesci is the one I was thinking of. Total words, 5. He said, "It's my privilege, thank you." When he won Best Doctor, Best Supporting Actor or whatever. I've never heard of all these other people. Oh, Billy Wilder was only 10 words when he won Best Director for The Apartment. He said, "Thank you so much, you lovely discerning people. Thank you." Yeah, that's cool. Anything else about the Oscars you want to add? I reckon we've pretty well covered it.
No, I think it's just about done. Yeah, good on us.
And I'm proud of myself because I don't even have a list of the winners in front of me or anything. I'm just remembering all this shit.
Good on.
And all right, just any minor awards you haven't got. Kobe won an Oscar. That's cool. I haven't seen the film, but good on you, Kobe.
Really good. Yeah.
I would like to watch it. As someone who used to be a big NBA fan, I'm like, yeah, you go, Kobe.
Shape of Water's score. Fuck yeah, deserving.
Alexander Desplat's champion.
Oh yeah, and again, I just I'm fairly happy with everything except visual effects.
Also, Netflix got its first Oscar win, I think, with the documentary.
Yes,
was that its first win?
Yep, Icarus.
I should have watched that. I'll probably will at some point.
Yeah,
I never watched it when it came out, but I
watched
should
a lot of other
it must be fucking good.
Icarus, yeah, no, that's awesome.
Yeah, I remember when it came out, I'm like, I don't really care enough. It's not really important. And I thought the other one was going to win, whatever that was. There's a couple of the short films that I'm kind of interested in watching.
Yeah.
Garden Party's meant to be really good. What one animated short?
God, I don't know.
Was it Garden Party?
Maybe. No, it wasn't Garden Party. Or something else.
Googling best animated short. All right, the wheels are falling off here. It was the Kobe one, of course.
Yeah.
Dear Basketball. Yeah. I'll try and watch that, and there's a couple others I'll try and watch.
All right.
Can't believe Sam didn't get nominated.
Oh, that's bullshit. Yeah, best director at least, you'd think.
Yeah.
I just want to say that as well. We this week on Twitter, we're gonna put out a tweet, and we want, if you're listening to this right now, if you've stayed the whole way, then congratulations.
If you have, you should run marathons.
Yeah, go onto our Twitter, and we're going to be starting a Q&A, and we're just gonna, next week, if we get enough good questions, we're gonna just start answering some people's questions. We can do that weekly, just involve some more user interaction. Maybe eventually we'll do some listener movie recommendations.
But I'll allow it.
Yeah, I think it's a good idea just to get some more interaction. So yeah, ask us a couple questions. We can do a Q&A thread, and we'll respond to it on the podcast.
What's worse about what would be the worst thing to be in the shower with your buddy or your dad?
Yeah, you need to. So basically that. On what did we learn today, Jake? What we did on the podcast?
Did we learn anything today?
Shit, I don't know. We learned that the Oscars will always fuck up one category, albeit animated or visual effects.
Animated or visual effects. It's like
something.
They alternate. It's like if they don't fuck up one, they'll fuck up the other.
Yeah, it's disappointing. Or 2014, they'll do both with Dawn of the Apes and Dragons losing. Anyway, what did we learn today?
We haven't. It's been a pretty freewheeling show. I don't really remember a lot.
We learned that Game Night, people should go check that out because it's really underrated.
No, we didn't learn that. The viewers learned that tonight.
Exactly.
Go see Game Night.
It's
viewers, listeners. The royal we.
I'd say we learned, but we already knew that the Children of Film Awards are more prestigious than the Oscars, so you can go check them out on our channel now.
We need to stop. We're not coming up with anything good here. It's just devolving into shit. Sorry, we can't do it every week, folks. I'm too tired.
What's the time over there now? Like 12:30?
12:40.
Nice. We should start doing this earlier.
You doing anything tomorrow, bro?
An hour doing fucking jack all.
Here's good podcast material. What are you up to tomorrow, man? You got work?
I'm seeing Black Panther. I've got work.
Oh, nice.
Watch a movie. I'm about to play Fortnite after this because I'm autistic.
Maybe I will play with you for a bit because I was gonna watch Thor Ragnarok, but it's getting a bit late. I do have work tomorrow. I still need to go see The Square. Because I won free tickets to some movies for this cinema here. They had a movie review competition, and I won tickets for 4 movies to review them. And I I was just explaining this scenario. I brought it up in my videos too. So I got Black Panther and Lady Bird and Fantastic Woman. I need to go see The Square this week, but I'm too fucking busy. But I'll try and see it tomorrow. God, I hope not. But I'm actually really keen for The Square.
Sweet
it looks cool. So I'll try and see that this week if I can be bothered tomorrow. It's been a pretty crazy week. So thanks for the support. I know we've got a few guys who listen to us and comment. Or shout out to Jasper Stringer. We really appreciate your support and feedback. We like, it doesn't go unnoticed. We love you, bro. And all our friends who helped out with the Children of Film Awards, Lockie, so Blake, guys. Maddie. We're probably going to get Maddie Poole on a podcast at some point when we can schedule it. Ewan for making an awesome little short for us. It was great, and it was that short he made. If you didn't see it, it was basically a really dramatic thing of 2 kids finding a children's film envelope and fighting over it, and one kills the other for it, and then they deliver it to him.
I do just want to say, after that happens, he said, "Thanks, I lost a slave." Does he own 2 slave companies that fight each other? Why were his slaves fighting?
They were fighting for his affection.
But
they
why?
both wanted to be the one who found the envelope.
So is he now angry at the one that won because he killed another slave? Like, is that our fault?
Yeah, that's a plot hole, Ewan. That's a plot hole. And if you want to be a filmmaker, you're going to have to work around shit like that.
Tighten your screenplays.
He's probably not even listening right now. We'll see.
Oh, no way.
But Ewan, if you're listening, Ewan, tighten up your fucking screenplays, right? It's not on. But all I was saying with that is that it perfectly encapsulates the overinflated sense of importance we have of the Children of Film Awards.
Oh, yeah, easily.
And this podcast as a whole.
Oh, thank you. All right, guys, so chuck a like, comment, subscribe. One thing you can do to help the podcast is just share it with a mate. Don't share it with a mate who is like a tradie or is like loves My Little... They won't get anything out of it.
They might enjoy it.
I guess, but if you know a mate who likes film, share the podcast around just to one bloke. It helps a lot. But anyway, we're going to slowly start the transition onto SoundCloud now, so people can watch without having the
Jaron
YouTube
made a
app
SoundCloud
open.
account, so I'll start trying to upload shit on there.
Yeah, and
check out my mixtape on SoundCloud.
I've got the link, bro. All right. Thanks for listening, guys. We'll kill this podcast because it's just gone on for 10 minutes without anything funny. So, thanks, guys.
Hey, that's mean.
We'll see you next week or next month, one or the other.
Thanks for listening. It's really good to be back. And, we love doing this.
And I love film, and Jacob loves children.
I was waiting for it.
See you guys.
You've just listened to the Children of Film podcast.
Man, it sucks to be you.